Trip Zero here, and it's time for a Season 3 greenhouse update. This is the third year that I've had this thing. Been a very interesting experiment throughout, very challenging at times, but very fun and rewarding. So the purpose of the greenhouse, of course, is to grow at least tomatoes, but other things all year round in the Northwest, which is a challenge. So with that, as a way of solving the problems with temperature and light, I've come up with some interesting solutions, including using geothermal water as a source of heat or as a storage medium for heat in the wintertime and cooling in the summertime. But anyway, moving on to the update. The tomatoes, the Pozzanos, are doing awesome. We have fruit set throughout. We have 6 clusters on these first plants and going, and they're almost at the top. I've switched my feeding regime just recently from 5-18-38 master blend with calcium chloride to more nitrogen, about double the serving of calcium nitrate to give it about 38% of nitrogen and almost that much in calcium as well. So hopefully that will help me with like a cluster like this, where you get 1 or 3 flowers, 1 to 3 that don't set, or you get a cluster like this where they're not all the same size. They're all growing at different rates and speeds. So hopefully, I'm hoping that will help me with that. These are very tall Pozzanos. They've already outgrown my lighting solution that you can see right here. They're already much taller than the light, but we're getting a lot more light here in mid-May, so we're okay with that. These ones I planted a little bit later, but they have fruit, not as big, but they're fruiting. And then these are the last ones I planted, and clones of either the early Pozzanos, I believe, and this one is aroma, and it hasn't even started flowering yet. One of the things that I added this year was this water chiller. It's a 1/2 horsepower. It draws a little over, pretty close to 500 watts, but it will chill down to 39 degrees Celsius. It's sitting at 66, so it has a hard time during the day with a lot of light, but so far I've been able to use the system even without geothermal working, because I've had a pump go out, so my geothermal pump is not circulating geothermal water. So, but with this alone and with my cool air intake, I've managed to keep this thing under 80 degrees inside the greenhouse, even in full sunlight without any shade cloth. So we'll go take a look inside and you can see how well this thing actually works. So I don't know if you can see it really well, but there is condensation on this. In the morning time, when it starts to heat up, this is obviously more apparent because the nighttime temperatures with the chiller running at night will get the temperatures down really low. And the heat exchanger, you can see as well, is got some moisture on it. And even this thing, the sides will be just really extremely wet and with just condensation. So really cold air during the day, and of course later in the day it has a harder time. So when I get the geothermal working, hopefully that will help quite a bit. And then this is the pump that went out. Once I get the geothermal back on, I'm hoping that I'll be able to maintain much cooler temperatures longer, use less power with the chiller, use the chiller less. So that is the update. I've stopped using the CO2 generator, and I am now measuring temperatures for this is the inlet, and I've got one down here. You can see this blue thing for the outlet of the reservoir, I do have some sort of leakage somewhere, slow leak, because this is about half full, so I'm losing 20 gallons every couple weeks, just not good. So I need to find the drip. But that is my update. Of course, the herbs are doing great. The oregano has exploded. This strawberry bush is bushed out, and it is flowering now, which is great. And if you look down there, there's a little teeny tiny berry. So pretty happy. This is mint or spearmint of some sort. Got some onions, some more oregano. I forget what this is, and more onions, and this is some baby broccoli that just didn't make it. So, all right, that is my Redhouse update for May, and happy gardening to you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Happy to answer them. But the experiment goes on, growing food all year round. Cheers.